And there it is, guys, and there it is, girls. It's time for, once again, HTLA's Film 101 with yours truly. Yes, truly. Thank you. I could speak tonight. What the hell? Yours truly, Chris Crash Jesus Taylor. It's currently 96? No, it's currently 69 degrees in Central Park on this, just a hazy, cloudy night. Very nice. Waning moon off in the distance. Heck of a nice evening in the city for everybody here. Big. Did I mention big? Yes, very big show tonight. It's the exclusive world premiere release launch. Oh yes, say it ain't so, Crash. It's been too damn long. Release of the AJA CION 4K cinema camera. Yes, the HTLA has procured the rights for the worldwide release of this camera, and we've got it here for you tonight. So hold on to your butts, because it's about to get straight in here. Yeah, I have the unit right here in my hands. You know, I was saying to the producer Mark earlier that it's too bad we weren't actually doing a live webcast with video to actually see this baby in my hands. Well, you can hear it. There we go. There's the outer body there with my wedding ring, and yeah, tap. Nice camera, nice package. It's wow. It's something to hold, and to know that, you know, I am the only one on the entire planet who's holding it right now. Badum-cha. Yes. Well, there it is. So for those of you who don't know about the camera, oh wait, what am I saying? Everybody knows about this camera. That's right, if you're going to be shooting with 4K, or if you already are shooting in 4K, you know about this camera. Back in Las Vegas at the NAB conference way back, April 7th, 2014, AJA Video Systems announced the CION, an entirely new professional cinema camera. CION features an ergonomic design and is capable of shooting at 4K Ultra HD and 2K HD resolutions. AJA pioneered lens-to-post Apple ProRes workflows with the introduction of the Key Pro product line in 2009, and CION builds on its achievement by offering in-camera recording directly to the Apple ProRes family of codecs, including that sexy, tasty 12-bit 444 for pristine image capture. ProRes codecs are well established in many post-production environments currently and offer wide compatibility with editing, color correction, and finishing applications. CION enables today's growing demand for high frame rate support and offers the ability to output 4K raw data up to 120 frames per second. Ooh. Via 4 times 3G SDI outs. CION can record directly to the AJA PAC SSD media up to 60 frames a second, gang. Yes. This quote from the CEO. CION represents a new direction for AJA. Bringing this sophisticated camera to market underscores our passion to support filmmakers, broadcasters, and content creators. Yes, president of AJA Video Systems there, Nick. See, I can't speak tonight. Nick Rashby. We are incredibly proud of CION. We believe that the thoughtfully considered design, along with a powerful feature set, will make it extremely useful and versatile for productions worldwide. CION embraces a familiar and tested camera form and ergonomic layout. It includes a built-in shoulder mount and standard connectors, thank you, in logical positions for a shooter. CION features a PL lens mount for compatibility with industry-standard lenses. When recording in HD or 2K, the image is oversampled from the full 4K sensor, retaining focal length as well as providing a vibrant and detailed image. A built-in filter combines the optical low-pass filter to eliminate unwanted aliasing and moi with an infrared IR cut filter to produce appropriate colors. Additionally, a back focus adjustment means the sharpest image possible can be produced. Also included are several 3G SDI and HDMI outputs, which are all simultaneously active and supply signal to a variety of 4K Ultra HD and 2K HD monitors. A power output connector is conveniently placed at the front of the unit to make electronic viewfinders easy to use. Professional audio inputs round out an unmatched amount of connectivity to this camera. And I gotta say, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. CION features an uncomplicated user interface. Yes, the menu system gang. Very, very straightforward. CION features the 4K APS C-size CMOS sensor with an electronic global shutter, 12 stops of dynamic range, recording formats and resolutions, Apple ProRes 4444, ProRes 422HQ, ProRes 422, ProRes 422 LT, and Apple ProRes Proxy. 4K 4096 2160 Ultra HD standard 3840 by 2160, 2K 2048 by 1080, and HD 1920 by 1080. 2K and HD. Let's go over that again. 2K and HD are hardware scaled from the full 4K sensor for high quality oversample images and retention of field of view. Yes. Did I take a breath during all that? I'm sorry, I'm so damned excited. Media. The media that you can record to is a AJA PAC SSD media available in 256 or 512 gigabyte capacities with the 1 terabyte on the way. Transfer via Thunderbolt or USB 3 with optional AJA PAC dock. Complete 10-bit and 12-bit workflows from HD to 4K. Does this camera support RAW? Yes, it does. Output AJA RAW via 3G SDI up to 4K 120 frames per second, or via Thunderbolt at up to 4K 30 frames per second. Now, I'm thinking, I haven't tested this yet because we just got this in the studio like an hour ago, so I'm thinking you're actually going to be able to Thunderbolt to that sucker and get your 120 frames too. Don't quote me, but I'm assuming, I'm thinking. Lens mounts, industry standard PL, and your connectors, yes, mention again the 4x 3G SDI HD SDI outputs, 4K Ultra HD, 2K HD. There's two 3G HD SDI monitor outputs with overlay support for your menus. One HDMI output offering support for 4K and Ultra HD or scaled 2K. One just standard HDMI output for 2K and HD. Two mic line ins, 48-volt phantom power is provided, XLR analog audio inputs. There's 2x LANC control ports, one LTC input connector, one reference connector, one USB connector. Yes, the Ethernet connector is there, 10, 100, or 1000 LAN connection. Mini TRS headphone jack, the 4-pin XLR power connector, of course, input connector for attaching third-party battery plates, etc., etc. Output power connector and a Thunderbolt connector. Now, the camera does ship now with optical low-pass filter and IR cut filter. Back-focused adjustment, of course. The industrial design is lightweight. Magnesium chassis, built-in confidence monitor, standard playback controls and connectors, blah, blah, blah. User interface via operator side or left side, control knob and buttons via LAN connection using a web browser. No software installation needed. Don't need it. Now, pricing and availability originally announced. CION available summer 2014. Here we are, yeah. Just 12 days away from the end of summer, by the way, but here you go. They made it. Worldwide network of AJA resellers. Manufacturer suggested retail price $8,995. The media packs are available, $695 each for the 256 gig and $1,295 for the 512 gig. No prices yet on the 1 terabyte, but it's coming soon. AJA Pack Dock is available at a manufacturer's suggested price of $395. And, of course, optional CION accessories will also be available when the camera ships, and it's shipping, so they're available. I just don't know what they are yet because they haven't updated their site. Yes, a little bit about AJA if you didn't know. Since 1993, AJA Video has been a leading manufacturer of video interface and conversion solutions, bringing high-quality, cost-effective digital video products to the professional broadcast and post-production markets. AJA products are designed and manufactured at their facilities in Grass Valley, California, and sold through an extensive sales channel of resellers and system integrators around the world. For further information, please see their website at aja.com. It's all exciting, isn't it? That's the official press release there back in April 7th of 2014. And September 10th of 2014, yes, this lovely Wednesday, I have this baby in my hand. Yes, I do. Yes. Ooh, schmickety. All right. Now, well, I guess before we continue with the show here, I should point this out.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
No, you don't. You never go full retard. And you're probably sitting there going, "Hey, Crash, what the hell are you doing? Talk about the damn cameraman. You've got it in your hands. What are you playing retard stuff for?" Well, I gotta come clean now. Yes, I'm gonna come clean now. I don't actually have the camera. I know. No, that was a little Canon T3 I was playing with here. I don't have the camera. I know. Okay. I know. I'm as frustrated as the rest of you, and in fact, earlier today, I decided to get on the phone to AJA and express my concern, and this was the official word of what I got back. Right. That's the official word. 12 days before the end of the summer. Yeah, we don't have this camera yet. It's still not here. No. And the company's been very vague, and we're 12 days away from the end of the summer. Now going into autumn. And it's no small thing to remind, AJA, that, a lot of water's kind of passed under the bridge since April. The 4K production biz moves pretty fast, just saying. If you kind of don't get on the boat when everybody else is on the boat, you miss the boat. Are you with me so far? Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, we don't. No. I've been keeping up with this. I've been checking with B&H New York and Adorama Camera and all the other guys out there in production land, and everybody is frustrated and completely at a loss. And I'm looking at an AJA CION 4K Cinema Camera users group on Facebook. You can find them at www.facebook.com/CION4K. And it's the, well, excuse me, it looks like the official users group, everybody who's lining up with the money in their fists for this camera have been for months. And I'm looking all down here, and there's a lot of great posts. Oh, look, Wooden Camera's got accessories for CION now, and Zacuto has got accessories for CION now, and all these companies down the list. Oh yeah, here's all your CION stuff. We're ready to go. And since NAB, how many other trade shows have they been to with the CION sitting on their shoulders? The AJA reps, oh yeah, this is a CION and it's awesome and you can hold it and here you go. And we still got nothing. I know. We still got nothing. Well, actually, we do got plenty of something. Yes. Yes, we do. We've got a bunch of professionals in this film and television industry and the independent industry and the documentary industry, and everybody's really kind of getting up in arms and a wee bit bitter because, of course, this was what? April. So let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October. All right, so 6 months ago, we got this great 4K camera that's under 10 grand. Okay, well, I know that I always say that Ursa is the big fat girl that nobody wants. That's a 4K camera apparently for under 10 grand. Blackmagic, yeah. And Blackmagic, that's not their only offering for 4K under 10 grand. There's, of course, their 4K production camera. And yes, my favorite man in the world, Philip Bloom, he does use the word clunky in his review of the Blackmagic production camera, but we can live with clunky, right? We can live with sort of a half-assed kind of menu system just to get the quality, right? Yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's what we have been doing, right? So, CION, O CION, wherefore art thou? So yes, all kinds of comments. Come on, what kind of company keeps toying with customers like this? Either give us a release date or some new specs and or new footage, but teasing a possible launch date is just plain annoying. There are people with money in their hand ready to pre-order this. I'm sure they aren't amused. That being said, I can't wait for the camera to be released. Please do it soon. See, they're still, they'll go on there and they'll bitch, but they're still loyal. AJA, that should tell you something. John Welsh writes, wow, you would think by now that the significant loss of faith and damage to the credibility of BMD due to them releasing a half-baked product and taking forever to add back in features that should have been there from the beginning would have motivated AJA to see. No way, we're not doing it that way, but here they are. I almost bought BMD cameras twice, but I'm a noob in the world of cinematic storytelling and just couldn't justify spending what for me is major coin. And then a bunch of time and frustration dealing with those issues, especially the prospect of unusable footage after spending all that time and effort to acquire it. After reading about all the people who have had problems with BMD cams, all I can say is I really, really hope this turns out to be just an unforeseen technical problem in manufacture, and that when the CION does come out, it'll be a game changer. I mean, after all, from the time this cam was announced to date, it actually is out of date. A lot of water has moved under the bridge. Sony's about to release something that may be a game changer, and sounds like there are other exciting announcements soon to be made. It's moving so fast. If this new CION doesn't knock everyone's socks off and be as dependable and logical as other AJA gear has been historically, it will be a huge disappointment. Yeah. That's kind of the gist of what everybody's saying here. Jim Caparelli says, I agree with Zhao and appreciate the fact that this CION users group has separated itself from the actual company. The camera being delayed so long makes me wonder about something. Does anyone know if the CION camera is utilizing the same chip as the Blackmagic camera? I read some information that might indicate that. And that being said, did I wait for such a long time for just a Blackmagic 4K cinema camera to be released, only to receive it months later than expected and have problems, brand new right out of the box? After waiting for all that time for the problematic camera, I'm wondering, is AJA having the same issue? I personally feel AJA is a much better company and would want to get it right based upon my many successful dealings with them in the past. Any thoughts on this from other members? And of course, nobody's replied to him because, well, we're all kind of flaming mad. That's what it is. We're pissed. Damn it, we're pissed. Anywho, we're going to go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, a little more investigative reporting on the AJA situation. Be back in 2.
I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you chill and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. You may not feel it alone, what you feel is make a turn, you may not feel it alone.
Just Dance 2014. Stay in, go all out.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shaped because you'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
The world is facing one of the biggest crises in the history of history. Girls are getting hotter and hotter. This is causing guys to lose their cool. It's happening everywhere. That's why the people at Axe have developed the new Axe Chill collection. It helps guys keep their cool before it's too late. Girls are getting hotter. Keep your cool with the new Chill collection from Axe.
It's a nice outfit you got there, man.
I wanted to mix it up a little today.
Sorry, boys. Afraid I can't let you in here with those bowls. This pop-up bowl wing is a bowl-free zone. We make our own bowls here, so you need to finish those out there.
Okay.
What's up, Big Papas?
Bowl up thunder, bowl up thunder, bowl up thunder.
Didn't realize I was in there.
Snack easier with Orville Redenbacher's Pop-Up Bowl. Simply made, passionately created.
No one just hands you the title, most advanced technology in its class. It needs to be earned. Earned with smart beam headlamps. Earned with vented temperature control seats. Earned with an 8.4-inch touchscreen. And if you're driving one, you know what it means to earn something.
We are HTLA Radio 1. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.
Yes, resistance is futile. Yes, lower your shields, damn it. We are back. You are listening to HTLA's Film 101. I am the host of Film 101, Chris Crash Jesus Taylor, and still 69 degrees in Central Park tonight. It's gorgeous out. Get out there. Don't sit around listening to me talk about my invisible camera. Yeah. So let's talk about that water under the bridge, shall we? Yes, Crash, I'm glad you decided to do that. I was most wondering about that. Well, excellent. I'm glad you asked. Well, you might have heard, if you're a regular listener to this show, you of course heard, my lovely show about the F5. Yeah? The F5, what the world is calling hack, what I am continuing to call workaround, because it's not hacking nothing, you morons. Yes, the ability for the F5 to record internal 4K. Oh, yes. And it's simple user profile augmentation. That is all it is. It is nothing to do with the firmware, nothing to do with opening up the camera and adjusting knobs and chips and things. No, just user preferences. And you know what? A lot of F5 users prefer 4K, don't they? Yeah. Well, the beauty about that is that, previous to Paul Ream's discovery, yes, over at extrashot.co.uk, Paul and Steve, the men who gave us that workaround, idiots. Yes. Now, of course, you're getting far more bang for your buck with your Sony F5. Now, the F5 retails for around 16 grand in the United States of America. Yes, it does. And you're getting a good deal for 16, I think. You know, given the market, given all the other cameras out there. Unless, you know, like I say, you've got to have 4K, in which case, you know, the Blackmagic product, as limited as it is with its menu afflictions and you know, all the other complaints about them, the footage is very good quality. Now, in April, the F5 couldn't shoot 4K at 16 grand. It was just 2K and HD. So, if you wanted that F55 look, but you couldn't afford the 4K option at 30 grand, which is what the F55 is, then you were kind of stuck with, well, maybe a Blackmagic 4K. Or be like some of these ninnies and grab yourself a Panasonic GH4. Oh my God, don't get me started there. Yes, or now the Sony A7S everybody's raving about. Oh, this cute little camera, I can put a big matte box on it and a $200,000 ingenue lens and go make a movie. Oh, you can, but you're an idiot. Okay, so moving along, that's kind of the field that we've been playing with there. But now the F5 can do 4K. 16 grand. Oh, but the CION is still just over half of that at 9 grand. Well, yes, it is, if and when we ever get our mitts on it. Now, I personally am an F55 guy. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Say it till the cows come home. And as soon as I can afford the $100,000 option of the F65, I'll be an F55 guy. That being said, still really looking forward to this camera from a rental perspective because, of course, the rentals on this camera, if it does everything it says it can do, are going to be stellar. Absolutely stellar. Absolutely. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's take a quick look at some recording modes between, say, the $30,000 F55 and the $9,000 CION. First off with the 55, 4K, 4096, 2160 at 23.98, 25 frames a second, 2997, 50p, 59.94. That's the 4K range of fun there, right on up to just about 60 FPS. Right? Okay. The Aja CION. 4K, 4096, 2160, progressive, 23.98, 24p, ooh, that's nice, 25, 2997, 30, 50, 5994, 60p, and 119.88, and 120 FPS. Are you with me so far? There's a greater range there, isn't there? Yes, there is. That little $9,000 camera is really pulling some funky stuff. So where is it? And don't forget the joyous global shutter. Yes, that's something else that is pretty important, I think, for at least my style of shooting, and I know it's important to a lot of other directors and DOPs. And Aja's got it. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yeah, baby. And, of course, so does the F55. Really, for the long and the short, when you look at everything they've got going on here, I would venture to say that, without the Super 35 sensor versus the APS-C, you're pretty much looking at a better camera at the $9,000 range. And that's coming from an F55 guy. Interesting. But ultimately, where is this camera? Where has it gone? Is it coming? If they don't release it in 12 days, what happens? Huh? What happens? Anybody know? Raise your hand if you know what happens. Anybody, somebody, come on.
Hey, what the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
No, you're supposed to use the... Oh! I know. No, yes, don't. Don't use harsh language. Use this camera when it ever comes out. But will we want to then? Blackmagic every day is working towards, the little firmware updates for their camera to make it a whole camera that it should have been when it came out. And, with Paul Ream's little discovery about the F5, there's a big movement in the F5 world to go and utilize that and utilize those profiles and just damn it all to heck. Rental companies, actually, an interesting thing. I was talking to a friend of mine who actually runs a rental business in the greater New York area and was talking about their F5 rentals and how they have gone up exponentially in recent weeks since this came out. And I said, what about warranties and things? Because, Sony's come out and, pulled the old tight butt Japanese move. Oh, we not address your warranty. No, you go away. You can't use that. Oh, we can't use user profiles, huh? Yes, those same user profiles that you encourage us to customize and use as we, the user, see fit and load into the camera, which is all that the 4K workaround actually is with the F5. So what? Well, that leaves you to think, geez, how would the rental companies get their warranties okayed if their customers are taking this thing and secretly going back to their hidden underground locations and sticking in that SD card with those lovely 4K lines from the F-55 and shooting themselves a 4K project and returning their lower rental rate F5 camera back on time and on budget and turning out 4K product instead of 2. How does that work? How would Sony know? Well, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. That's all there is to it. Unless you are an idiot and you leave your SD card with all the 4K files in the camera when you take it back, they won't know. So, there you go. We got the rush now for the F5, eh? CION's going to have to pull some pretty big things out of their butt to make this actually work. Anyway, it kind of makes you really wonder, what's going on, man? Because I can tell you from a entrepreneur point of view, from a businessman perspective, that if this was my release, if this was my camera, I wouldn't care if it was 6 months or a year down the road. If I had the prototype at NAB, and I'm telling everybody, this is my new 4K cinema camera, blah, 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 put it on your shoulder, isn't it nice? Yeah, look, it works with these ice lenses. Yeah, look, it works with these wooden camera handles. Yeah, look, it's going to work with all of our recording codecs and equipment and all the stuff that you're already used to using. It fits like a glove. It's just stunning. It's awesome, isn't it? Isn't it incredible? Don't you just want to run away from the booth right now and take it with you? I know you do. Of course you do. If I'm coming, and April 7th too, perfect time to launch this sucker. When you looked at the rest of the field and then you see this thing coming along, you're like, that's the one to bet on, guys. I would, from that entrepreneurial businessman state of mind, one thing I would have done there, right then and there, when I had the entire world's attention on me and my little shoulder rig and my wooden accessories and my Zeiss lenses strapped to my new cinema camera, what I would have done is said, okay, September 15th, 2014, you can get this in your hot little hands. Pre-orders start August 1st. You're welcome. That's what I would have done. Yes, because the consumer doesn't really so much care how long they've got to wait. If they know they've got that data coming, and the other thing it does from the business point of view is it gives you, the company, a really good framework from which to do your sales projections. But everything in the industry changes everything in the industry. Case in point, a couple of weeks ago on Film 101, I talked about the sudden 32+% increase in television production in New York State just in the first 2 quarters of 2014. All this work teeming out of L.A. and coming to the East Coast here. All the companies, the rental companies, anybody who supplies equipment to production, catering companies, all the service companies to production, all of them had to make changes when these things were happening to accommodate that extra need and that extra workload. And so what do you have with that? Well, what you have with that is you have an industry that's actually fluctuating to changes that are happening within it. So when Paul and the boys over at extrashot.co.uk came along and made the F5 start shooting 4K reliably, excellent footage, by the way, with no adverse effects to the camera, because of course the camera can do that. What do you have now? Well, you've got kind of a changer here. You've got something that's pretty important. There's a lot of F5s kicking out there, and it's not just the high profile rental companies in New York City. You can pick up one of these units for $250 a day if you do your hunting right. Or there's individuals out there that I know who rent their gear. Yeah, they've just got an F5 and some lights and a nice tripod and a few other little bits and pieces, and they'll rent those out for $150, $200 a day. And let me tell you, those guys are getting calls now because that little baby can do 4K. So is that going to take away from CION? I think yes. Absolutely, because of course back in April, the F5 wasn't doing that. Nobody knew about that. Steve was still wearing the shoes and Paul was still, tinkering around with cold coffee. All right? We didn't know this then, but now it's happened. This is one of these unforeseen things in the industry that I'm saying can change prospective outcomes. Now, not to get down on Blackmagic Cinema for their production camera and the 2.5K and all the plethora of problems that have plagued those camera systems, and Ursa notwithstanding, oh my God, the CION was looking like, like I say, back in April, that's the one to go for. In fact, I would have had my pre-sales earlier than August 1st if I could have. Especially now with the advent of the F5 ability, with the quote-unquote workaround. Yes. So this is going to impact their sales. That is my official prediction at Film 101 here today. Yes, the September 10th, 2014. Day before, September 11th, 2014. That's going to be another long day around this city. But, yeah, so kind of scary in a sense. If we kind of look at things like right now, if I was the big cheese there at AJA, looking at some of these things on the user group with, these almost tireless fans of this camera. They'll go on there and they'll rant for 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then, they'll close it up with, I hope this actually happens soon. I've still got my money. I'm still ready to go. That being said, can't wait for the camera to be released. Please do it soon. They're lining up. This is a great position to be if you're that company. It is. Absolutely. You have a new product coming out, and they're lining up for it. Why won't you give a release date? I don't understand. There's where's the downside? Back in April, the official word from the booths were that, it's going to be definitely out before the end of the summer, 2014, and we can't wait. We the production is happening just fine. We're foreseeing no shortages of anything we need to get this camera to market by the end of summer 2014. We're mission complete. We're a go, Houston. And actually, I did phone AJA today, and I spoke to one of their representatives, for real this time, and I just laid it out to them, I explained to them that, I'm Chris Crash Jesus Taylor, HTLA Radio 1 New York. I do this Film 101 show on Wednesday nights, and I'm going on the air tonight, and I'd like to be able to release, some information about the camera. If you're not going to make the end of the summer because there is only 12 days left, we understand. But let me put out a date. Let me put. Well, maybe I didn't ask like that. I think there was a lot more swearing. But here's the official response.
Sir, the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all.
That's right. Did you hear that? The attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all. For those of you who don't speak Microsoft support staff language. Yes. So, I know. I'm kidding again. I'm dragging this out for as long as I can. Just like they're dragging this camera release out as long as they can. Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to go for another quick 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to talk about just when the heck this sucker might come out and what it may mean to you, the average, everyday Bob Your Uncle user. We'll be back in 2, gang.
When you're under fire, when there is no hope, when all other possible solutions have been exhausted, when it comes down to just you saving the Earth from the alien extermination of the human race, don't trust any gear. Trust Logitech Game Gear. Only you and Logitech can save the planet.
Logitech.com.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shade because you'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Euphoria, Calvin Klein.
Fourth down, Coach. What do we do?
I'll tell you what we do. I want you to go on the field, look for anyone with an O.
Let's kill them!
With kindness. Jimmy, I want you to make balloon animals. Tyler, make little tea cozy, something fun.
Are you okay?
We will win this for Mother Russia!
Coach, eat a Snickers.
Why is that, Chief?
You get a little loopy when you're hungry.
Better.
Now let's go for it!
Go get him, guys!
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
When you come to New York from a place like Detroit, no one expects you to influence the world of fashion. But when you do, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Not when you grew up surrounded by the perfect combination of rock and roll and heavy industry. when you start sending those influences down the runways of the world, well, that's when you just might make a name for yourself. That's what a blue-collar attitude can do in a white-collar world.
We are HTLA Radio 1. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.
Damn it, Q, it's an anomaly. Thank you. Yes, that is my Jean-Luc Picard impersonation. Well, you are back. You are listening to Film 101 on HTLA Radio 1 in New York City. Yes. Yes. That's kind of interesting. CION, Science of the Beautiful. That's their little logo tagline for the camera. Beautiful of the Science, I think, is New York City's tagline. Beautiful of this. Never mind. I'm getting off track. I'm madder than hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to go watch David Lynch movies just to punish myself. One little thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show because I was so excited holding my crappy Canon T3, trying to convince you all that I had a CION in my hand. Hey, is that a CION in your hand, or you're just happy to see us? Badumcha. Tonight's show is, as always,
powered by Procast.
Yes, Procast. Yes, Procast. There it is. Yeah.
Sir, the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all.
Yes, I know. Thank you. Okay, well, we are back for our third and final segment of the show tonight, and trying to give you guys, as I always do, trying to give you a best possible perspective, give you all the information, and let you decide whatever for yourself, except to take that Sony A7S and go out and try and shoot a feature film, you moron. In research following up, there's not been a whole lot out of AJA since the announcement. There has been a number of diehard bloggers that have gone out and hit them up for any information at all about this camera and when. At any chance opportunity that they've had. I personally have also spoken with AJA product marketing manager Bryce Button myself. And the most recent information that I can find to give you was released in June. And, well, I'll just read it to you and you can take what you will from it. Shall we? Yes. In a webinar produced by the Creative Planet Network, AJA product marketing manager Bryce Button detailed the upcoming CION camera and answered questions including, when will it arrive? Do I have a drumroll sound effect, Mark? As NAB 2014 recedes into memory, we're in the inevitable lag that occurs while we wait for all the new cameras, tech, and accessories to trickle to the market. Perhaps no product previewed at NAB is more anticipated than AJA's surprise camera, the CION. Capable of 4K high frame rate recording, sporting a global shutter, and a bevy of features and I/O ports self-contained, all in an ergonomically pleasing form factor, there's a hint, Ursa, at a great price. The CION was the talk of the show, stealing thunder from that other upstart camera company and causing its share of grumbles from the big names as well. For those champing at the bit for the CION, rest assured you won't have to wait long. In an hour-long webinar, co-produced by the Creative Planet Network and Digital Video Magazine, AJA product marketing manager Bryce Button shuttled through slides on AJA's new I/O products, then launched into the meat of it, what everybody was actually there for. While most of the presentation was spent reiterating a lot of the information already out there on the CION, Cylon. Did you hear me say that? I said the Cylon. I know. I know. He did toss out a few gems. No EVF provided. Since its appearance fully kitted at NAB, many wondered if AJA would include its own EVF as part of the package. No. AJA's rationale is that there are plenty of third-party EVFs out there. Yeah, the only good ones are like $2,000. And since AJA was designed to take advantage of the wealth of accessories currently available, nothing proprietary. Not ready to announce base ISO, AJA is still in the process of determining its base ISO, but will announce this information shortly. That was in June. What is shortly? My God, my company's operating quarters. Those are 90 days. That's 3 months, people. What the hell is shortly? AJA Raw gets a wrapper. And no. No, we're not talking about Flawless here. No. Yeah. It gets a Cinema D&G wrapper. That's right. HTLA 97.3, playing the hits for you all night long. No, just kidding. Yes, it got the Cinema D&G wrapper. Yes. Why pack media is better? Well, according to Button, using off-the-shelf drives and cameras is a bad idea because the pins in those drives weren't designed to last under the constant inserting and removing of media typical in video work. When you think about it, it makes sense. When you get a new drive, how many times do you install it, right? AJA's pack media, 256 gig for around 600 and 512 gig for around 1,300 media packs. Their drives are tested 100,000 insertions, so they're built to last. Double the warranty. While most cameras in the same price range and higher offer 1-year warranties, AJA is backing the CION with a 2-year warranty, so you have an extra year of relatively worry-free operation. Sample footage is coming, he said. The closer we get to release, the more we'll see from this potentially groundbreaking, for the price, camera. You can follow AJA's Twitter account, he said, and look out for the AJA video tag in the coming months. Pricing is still the same, $8,995 USD. The release window, quote, summer 2014. Button was quick to point out that summer actually starts towards the end of June. Yeah, okay. So what are you saying? The end of June we'll have the camera? So don't expect a surprise release next week. However, this is great news for everyone who has plopped down dough for the pre-order, as long as AJA can avoid the delays that plague most first-time camera makers. Summer actually starts towards the end of June, gang. Right from Mr. Button's mouth, right there. Towards the end of June is when summer starts. Over on the CION users group, they've got some status updates here recently. September, let's see, what's a good number? And of course, one of the comments immediately is anytime before IBC. And yes, IBC, going on right now. Yes, Philip Bloom is doing keynotes there, off there in Amsterdam. Amsterdammy. What's going on at IBC? Are they releasing it at IBC? Like, geez, I would. If it was my camera, my company, yeah. No. Up to the minute headlines I'm getting right now from the feed at IBC, nothing. Not a thing. In fact, the only thing I'm getting out of the press at IBC...
Sir, the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all.
Right. So there you go. There's the complete, well-rounded, up-to-the-minute AJA CION 4K camera update as of September 10th, 2014, gang. No news is good news? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Is it going to come out in 12 days? Well, I'd like to say yes, but it probably isn't, because if you were going to do it, and if you could do it within the next 12 days, you would most certainly do it at IBC. No? Of course you would. The eyes of the world would be on you. That's where I would do it. But they're not doing it, at least not as yet. Maybe there'll be a special, another exclusive Film 101 tomorrow afternoon, and they will have dropped the bomb, but still nothing. Not a thing. So, I, like you, wait. Yes, we wait. It'll be released this summer. 12 days of summer left. 4K. Hey. It's coming. Just be patient. If you would like, you can go, as I'm going, to www.facebook.com/CION4K and bitch out the users group admins, because that's always fun to do. And just bitch them right out, and then follow up my post with, but I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to 2017 when it comes out, and I'm gonna buy it when everybody's shooting 24K, and I'll be the cool kid on the block. That's what I'm gonna be. Yeah, but seriously though, the camera, it's been waiting and waiting and waiting. We're still waiting. Did I mention waiting? Waiting. Does anybody got time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No. See? Yeah. Well, that's about all the time I have on this wonderful, wonderful edition of the Film 101 for this week, gang. There it goes. Like to thank HTLA Radio 1 New York for having me on. Hope I don't get sued too bad for this episode. I'd like to do some shout-outs to Paul and Steve over at extrashot.co.uk. Yeah, you know who you are. The shoes, baby, the shoes. And we'll look for you here next week when I unveil Sony's new 16K camera. Haha, just kidding. See you later.
HTLA Radio 1.